Hi everyone, it's Angela with Create Your Future. So I am back today with a video and I want to talk about managing fear. This is something that I had to deal with in my own life and on my journey. And I have a lot of clients when they come to me, they're coming from that place where they're very fearful. And I understand that. I understand that feeling because being in fear, being in a fearful state is really uncomfortable. And sometimes it actually feels very debilitating. So I want to help you with that and help move you past fear. That's what this video is about. I do want to remind you that we're giving away a free course. And I hear there is some really great feedback with that course. So check that out. That's all in the description box. And I also have a course out. It's called Awaken to I Am. I'm really proud of this course. I address the things that I wish I had known when I was starting my own journey in manifesting. It's very foundational, but no matter where you are, it's just chock full of so much information to help you understand that process of what's going on in manifesting. So I hope you'll check out my course. And also, I am available for one-on-one coaching. No matter what you're manifesting, no matter where you are on your journey, if you just have questions, if you need support, I can help you with any of that. I have clients getting a lot of success, and I would love to work with you. All right. All of that information down below in our description box. So let's talk about dealing with fear. How do you deal with fear? So I'm going to talk first of all kind of what fear is. So usually, most of the time, when we're feeling that anxiety and that fear and all of those nerves, it's not that we are in a situation in that present moment where we are facing some fear. It's because we are borrowing fear. We are either bringing it up from a memory, a past experience, or we are thinking about a what if in the future. We're entertaining what if, what if, what if. So an example might be, say your person, your partner has not answered your text, or they haven't called you, or they had to break a date, and your past experience has been that your other partners that you've dated have cheated. They have been unfaithful. They were not honest. So because you've had something show up, maybe that you don't quite understand in the moment in the 3D, your brain goes back to something that it knows, which was, I remember last time they didn't call me, they didn't text, they were cheating, they were somebody else, they were not being honest. You begin to go back and ruminate on those things. What you're doing as you keep continually giving your attention to that over and over and over, you are bringing that experience emotionally into your current present situation, into your current reality, because you are emotionally feeling it again. You're going back and you're aligning with that experience again. Now, if you continue to stay in that, you continually think about that, think about that, think about that, you're creating that state of being within you, the state of being that you can't trust your partners. Partners are dishonest. Partners cheat. You're bringing all those emotions, staying in that, and then you're causing that to push out into your 3D experience. And then what happens most of the time when we push out that thing that we're scared of, that thing that we're afraid of, we push it out, we see it, we identify with it. Again, we embody those emotions, and now we're in a loop, a cycle of fearful things happening. I've been there, done that. I've experienced that. So it's what we're doing is we're taking our very powerful present moment and we're inviting unwanted things into it, things that we don't want, things that we are scared of. So it's important to break it, to break that cycle and to create a more stable cycle. And so if you find yourself there, if you find yourself in that loop of fear where you're just thinking about the dreaded past and you're creating that state within, and then it's projecting out and it's playing out in your 3D and you're in that loop, it's really, really important to take a step back and begin to really work on who you are as the creator of your reality. It's taking back your power. It's grounding yourself in law of assumption and recognizing that you have that power within. Now, you can do that a lot of different ways. Reading great material, Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy are some good authors. Reading great material, understanding this process, affirming that, I am the operant power. I know I'm creating all of this. I know I can change outcomes. I know that I'm competent. I'm gaining revelation understanding of this. I am seeing my positive thoughts push out. Affirming for those positive things and understanding this experience is also very powerful. But you need to really begin to ground yourself and get to the root of this unbelief, because the fear comes from not really having faith in this process, not really having confidence that you can create, that you can turn situations around, that you can have favorable circumstances show up, that you can get the outcomes that you want. You're not really believing in that. And we all, I think on this channel, talk about creating those little lists. Those little lists are really important because it helps you see what you can create. So, create a little list of those things that are not, you're not really emotionally attached to them, like seeing a pink Volkswagen Beetle on the roads, finding money on the ground, seeing a coworker show up in a Hawaiian flower shirt, fun little silly whimsical things that emotionally are not going to be devastating, but when they do show up, you can say, I was thinking about that yesterday. Now I see it in my reality. That is building up your faith in law of assumption. And as your faith builds up and you get stronger, your fear is going to kind of take a backseat. It's going to begin to fade away, and it's not going to be near as strong. And so it's going to begin to break that pattern. And this is what you want to do. You want to break the pattern of fear. Another thing that is helpful with your fear, if in the moment your brain is just really going towards the past, the memory, or the what if, and you're feeling all of that anxiety within, you're feeling afraid, you're scared, you're dreading, you're, holding all that within. If you don't get that under control, all of that chaos that's internal, if you stay there and that becomes a state, you're going to see things show up in the future that reflect that fearful internal chaotic state. So getting it under control is important, and it's powerful, right? Because we're always creating, we're always pushing out our future experience based on our internal state. So breathwork is amazing for helping get control and peace in your internal state. And guys, breathwork is not a big deal. It can be as simple as breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, releasing on 4 counts, or, breathing in for 10 slow counts, releasing for 10 slow counts. It's just controlled breathing, and you will find it almost immediately stabilizes you internally. That can lower your blood pressure, lots of things. It's very good for you. And when you get stability internally, when you get calm, when you get peaceful, you are going to have stable things, calm things, peaceful things pushing out in your future experience. So breathwork is important. Breathwork is powerful. Breathwork can help create better experiences because you're coming from a place where you feel more calm. And if you're, manifesting something in particular, but as you begin to think about your desire, I have clients that they say, I just get so anxious. When I think about it, I get, I'm trying to think positive, but I just get nervous. I feel like it won't happen. I feel afraid. If you can do your breath work, get stable, then think about your desire, it makes that focus and that intention around your desire that much more powerful, and it's all going in a positive direction now. So your breath work is important. Your inner stability is important. So one more thing I want to touch on about fear is sometimes we just have to face that fear. I've had times in my own life where I just had this, it felt oppressive, fearful thoughts coming in again and again and again. And I have stopped myself and said, okay, so what? So what if that happens? Somehow, some way, it will work in my favor. Somehow, some way, it's going to make things show up that I want. I will get through it. That isn't going to be the end all be all. So what? I still get my desire. It's just looking it in the face and saying, so what? I don't even care because I will get my desire. I'm the one that's creating my future. I've decided this is my desire, my future outcome. I will get it. So you just face that fear. You look it straight in the eye and say, I see you. I don't care. I still get my desire. And so I had a little experience that I thought I would share. It's not specific person related, but it was with my son when he was an infant. He was, from the time he was born to about 6 months old, he just didn't gain weight well at all. And I was very worried for about 6 months, anxious and very much afraid. And I would think about what if, what's wrong? And the doctor was pretty concerned and watching his growth until about 6 months of age. I took him in for one of his checkups and he had gained no weight. And the doctor was really upset. I was upset. And she said, okay, something's wrong. We have to get a lot of testing done. We have to get some things done, see what's going on. So at first I was very scared and very worried, but I got a hold of myself, got strong, and said, okay, so what? There's something wrong. There's something going on. Now we know. Now we're going to fix it. He's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. If we have to have treatment, if we have to have medication, if we have to have a procedure, fine. So what? Now we know. Now we're going to get well. Now he's going to get better. And I had about 3 or 4 weeks from the time we decided that testing was needed until the actual testing took place. So I began to think like this: he's going to be fine. So what? If there's something wrong, we'll deal with it. We'll treat it. It'll be okay. And I had about 3 weeks to really think it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Fine, whatever. Something's wrong. We're taking care of it. It turned out, actually, when we went in, they tested him for a whole bunch of things. I don't even remember how many things. Every single thing came back negative. There was nothing wrong. And after we got all those results, he did start gaining weight. He did start growing. And he is fine and healthy today. I don't even really know what was going on. I don't know why that showed up, other than I was in fear for maybe the first 6 months of his life. I was worried about something. But I just said, okay, fine. If there's something wrong, the doctor thinks there's something wrong. Now we're going to get to the bottom of it. Now we'll find it. Fine. This is going to work in our favor. He's going to get well. I had no choice but to face it, right? And sometimes you might find yourself in a situation. You're backed in a corner. You have no choice but to just face this. And I would encourage you, if you see those thoughts coming through and they begin to get oppressive and you feel like you can't get away from them, face it. Say, so what? Okay, I see it. That doesn't stop me from getting my desire. I'm going to get my desire. If that thing happens, then somehow, some way, it will work in my favor. If you're afraid your person's going to break up with you and you're really nervous and you keep thinking about that, just face it and say, you know what? So what? They break up with me, then they're just going to realize how much they miss me. if there's a third party and you're so scared, oh my gosh, what if a third party shows up? Oh my gosh, what if they date somebody else? Oh my gosh. So what? Anybody else that shows up in their life is just going to show them how amazing I am, how much they cannot live without me, how nobody compares to me. You make it so that it works for you. Just address it. It's almost like meeting a bully head on, or taking a pin and popping a balloon and deflating it. You're just going to say, okay, I see it, fine, and just face it. Sometimes that's very powerful. In fact, if you face it, you look at it head on, you're going to feel really empowered and really strong. And you're going to just continue to say, no matter what, I get my desire. No matter what, that thing that I was afraid of, it will work in my favor. It will help me get from A to B. It will help me get my desire. You take charge of it like that. Don't give fear that upper hand. So, guys, I struggled for many years with fear in probably every area of my life. I just had fear come up. And I kind of use these things. I learned to get stability and do breath work. And sometimes when necessary, just face it and say, all right, whatever, I still get my desire. That thing is going to help me get my desire. So I really want to empower you, help you get past fear, break the cycle of fear, and move into that empowered, strong state so that you can manifest all of your desires and get the things that you want. So I would love to help you and coach you if you're struggling with that. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I intend that this has helped so many of you. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. You're amazing. Happy manifesting, and I'll see you the next time.